Mr. Compton, welcome.
And you all?
Mr. Northman? You're taller than I had expected.
I get that a lot.
In episode 2, you see them mysteriously brought in kind of an armored vehicle. They don't know where they're being taken. I don't even know if they know what the Vampire Authority is. They maybe heard about it, but they don't know where it is, they don't know what it is, they don't know who they're seeing. These people are new to them and very, very powerful, and they do know that.
Well, the Authority is sort of the lion's den. It's the seat of all vampire power, and so we wanted to make the Authority feel imposing and mysterious and scary. We wanted it to really feel like the seat of government. It's almost like you're walking into the White House or the Duma. So it was very important to have a sense of authority is really the word. You want it to feel heavy and interesting. From the touchpad where they have to use their own blood and genetics to get in, to the oil painting of Roman, which is clearly hundreds of years old. You want a sense of history and purpose. So that was very important when we created the Authority, that it felt ancient.
What happens when Emma turns? She'll need a pack.
For all you know, Emma's a shifter.
She's Wolf. I can feel it.
So we don't know, Emma is either, her dad is a werewolf and her mom is a shifter. So in the True Blood genetic lottery, she could be either. We don't know which she'll be. And it turns out in this episode, of course, that she is a wolf. You want it to be an interesting, fun moment, but there was no way to make it not funny. It's always going to be funny because you have a wolf puppy in a nightgown, for God's sake. And every time we watched it in editing, we cracked up. It's just a funny image, So we just played it for, as much as it's a shock to Luna, it's funny to the audience. So I don't think there's any way to reconcile that. It's just going to be a laugh moment, and that's okay.
That's right, whore.
You're not afraid?
I'm no stranger to dead bodies.
We had a great time shooting the flashback scene with Pam because, first of all, we got to recreate, this Barbary Coast, San Francisco, turn of the century thing, and see a side of her that we haven't seen at all. She's such a dry character. She's so sarcastic. She's so cynical. She's so seen it all. And here's a Pam who still has plenty of reasons to be cynical. She's a madam in a whorehouse in old San Francisco, but she's not a vampire, and she clearly has a kind of depth of emotion that she's played a little bit in her vampire persona, but not as much.
Eric steps into her life, and saves her from a very scary guy who's about to attack her / rape her. And it's Eric and Pam's first meeting. It's an iconic moment for them because obviously they have an amazing relationship that goes back 100 years now, basically. Them meeting for me it's sort of emotional. It's fun to watch two characters that you've gotten to know meet each other for the first time. It's a very, in a bizarre way, sweet thing. Even though she's covered with blood and he's licking it off his fingers, there's a tenderness to that scene, which I think is lovely and sort of bespeaks a lot, tells you a lot about the relationship.